that's it. Let's see what the other trails got going on. I think it's time to turn around for a second time. Let's go find some more enjoyable trails where I don't have to bushwhack for miles.
My trip out to Sykes Hot Springs at Big Sur. I actually was planning to do a little bit more hiking, but because of the trail conditions, I ended up turning around, and I'll get into that here in a minute. But I left on Monday morning at about 5 a.m. so I wouldn't hit any traffic. I live in the Bay Area, so it's about a 2-hour drive down to Big Sur. The first stop I made was here at Bixby Bridge, which if you just go a little bit past the actual bridge, this turn here has a nice spot you can park your car on the side of the road, and a little hill you can climb up. See if this loads. Oh, there we go. That's nice. So yeah, it's right here. This is where I parked my truck, and then you walk up here and you get a nice angle. Most of the parking that you can see where everybody goes is here too, so you can get some nice shots there. And I was the only one there since it was Monday morning, which was nice. So if you can do this midweek, I'd really recommend it, because you'll avoid the big crowds from both Los Angeles and the Bay Area. Anyways, I kept driving down south. I had to make a quick stop here at Big Sur River Inn General Store. There's a couple stores and some expensive gas here, and also like motels and campsites. They're not cheap, but the store was great. It had everything I needed. I needed smart water bottles for my water filter, and sun protection. I needed sunscreen and sunglasses. I found $7 sunglasses, which were great and definitely got the job done. So once I was done with that, I continued on to Big Sur Station, which is right here. So I pulled in here, and you park right here. There's $10 self-registration parking. It's $10 a night. There was plenty of room for me. Again, it was Monday, so it wasn't bad. And then you also have a self-registration wilderness permit, which is free, and you just put your general plans on there. Who knows if anybody ever reads those? That'd be good to know. And then, yeah, I got started on the trail. So my goal was actually to do just a lot of miles. I'm putting in miles for my upcoming PCT trip. And so I'm just training and getting used to the pack on my back again, that kind of thing. And I've always wanted to go to Sykes Hot Springs. I went there more than 10 years ago when I was in college, but it was so rainy that the springs were cold, and it was kind of, it was not a great experience. But we brought some beers, and I had some good friends with me, so we still managed to have plenty of fun. But I'll click over here to Gaia. So the trail starts here, just right out of the parking lot. And it actually cuts through the campground that's right here now. So you actually walk along some of the campground, they rerouted it, and then you come back on right here. Pretty easy, it's well marked, lots of signs. And then you just go, you climb up for a bit, and then you're in and out of valleys, touching a lot of the rivers here that connect to the Big Sur River. So there was plenty of water, it was pretty easy going. It's definitely a lot of up and down. So if you're not used to hiking, it will be tough. But it's not the Sierras or anything. So the biggest challenge I'll get to, so the first day I actually continued, and I didn't even go down far enough river to find Sykes Hot Springs. So the first day I didn't visit the hot springs, but I kept going on to Redwood Camp out here and spent the night at Redwood Camp right here. The second day I tried to continue on the Pine Ridge Trail up this way, but about right here I couldn't pass. It was really overgrown. So I turned around and I tried going down to Cienega Camp to see how that was, with an idea of maybe keep going and then turn around. There's a fire road that goes along the river, it looked like on the map. Again, once I got to Cienega Camp, that wasn't too difficult to get there, but beyond that it was not passable there. So I ended up turning around and just going back to Sykes Hot Springs, and yeah, enjoying the afternoon, soaking in the tub. I got there, so that would have been Tuesday afternoon, just after probably 1 p.m. and there were two groups already filling up both pools, but I just waited around for them to finish up and then took my turn. The pools themselves are, I don't know, they may underwhelm. They're not very deep. They're not like a hot tub. They're not a jacuzzi. They're not super hot, but I mean, they're there. They're cool. You got to take a dip and experience it if you are there. If you're there on the weekend, it may be crowded, so just heads up on that. The trail has been closed for the last 5 years, so I imagine it's going to start seeing more and more traffic. And then I just headed out the rest of the way. I camped at Terrace Creek, which is right here. There were a couple campsites there, really nice, flat. There's even a pit toilet, so it's pretty nice camping. And then the next day I walked out. I stopped at the station and chatted with the ranger for a bit, kind of got the lay of the land of things to check out. I figured it'd be nice to stop by the beach. I also like to do diving, so I figured I might check out some dive sites if they were possible, but I really wasn't in the mind for diving since I was by myself. And so for that, I'll click back over to Google here. I went up north to Garrapata State Beach. One of the guys I met said he was going to go surfing there, so I figured, oh, if he's going surfing, maybe I'll go out for a swim with him. I actually continued straight first to Silveranis Point and walked around here. A lot of beautiful sea cliffs that was quite enjoyable. Saw some California condor. Came back down to Garrapata Beach, and I walked. It's great. You can park right here and walk down to the beach. Let's see if I can find that. So yeah, I parked right here and then walked down to the beach, and I walked all the way up and all the way down. There was one nude sunbather and one other guy with a selfie stick walking the beach, and then me just kind of washing my dirty feet off. And I think it was a great way to end the trip, because I just packed back up and headed back home. So that's it. One other useful resource I should touch on is this Big Sur trail maps. I wish I had done a little bit more. I wish I had used this more before my trip. I would have known to expect a lot more bushwhacking. So this one here, the trail conditions map, shows a lot of the stuff I was talking about. So the Pine Ridge Trail, since it's so popular to go to Sykes was very clear up to Redwood Camp, and then once I got over here, so the orange says difficult impassable, or sorry, difficult passable, but it was not passable for me. I guess I'm just not a very burly hiker, but that's okay. I wasn't out there to do a lot of bushwhacking. I would have loved to get up to Ventana Double Cone, which is the highest peak there, but maybe that's a trip for another time. So, and then again, I tried to get over here, and I just got right across the river, and I hit this red section, and I canceled that too and turned around and took a spa day. So yeah, make sure to use that. I'll link that in the description box. What else? I saw wildflowers were starting to bloom. I saw a couple really nice wildflowers, a lot of Douglas iris. Orange bush monkey flower. And some columbine, those were probably my favorites. Also called Granny's Bonnet. Saw the California condor. That's a really interesting sight, because these things, they have the largest wingspan of any bird in North America, is what I was reading. And in 1987, there were only 27 individuals alive, and they took them all into captivity and started a breeding program. And that was pretty successful, so that in 1991, they reintroduced them to the wild. And as of 2019, there are 518 of these California condors. So it's not guaranteed that you'll see them, but I don't know. I saw them a couple times. It was really cool. And yeah, they have a really ugly head, so that's a great way to other than their black feathers with the white underside. The other thing about this hike was the ticks. There were ticks everywhere. I got a nasty one on my arm the first night, which is... It's been a few weeks now, but it's just healed up. It's right there. Let's see if I can. Yeah, it's healed up there. I got another one up on the inner thigh by my femoral artery. So these things were definitely seeking my best blood. These things are smart. The other thing is they're really good at getting out on the leaves and the foliage that's just sticking over the trail, so that when you pass by it, you're definitely going to hit it. So keep an eye out when you first start the trail. I'd recommend trying to figure out how to see them, because once you see them, you can step around them most of the time, but you're probably going to just run into some anyway. So if I did the hike again, I would wear pants, and I got into a routine of checking myself every 10 to 15 minutes. And if there was one on me, I would just pluck it off. I talked about the springs being kind of underwhelming, access to the pools, and yeah, that's it.